Evan has some sort of sleep disorder, I'm convinced.
Evan! Pew, pew, pew.
Evan sleeps through gunshots, he sleeps through earthquakes, he sleeps through any disaster I can cause for him. I constantly torture him every morning, and he doesn't wake up.
Yeah, buddy, let's do some stuff today.
I am harassed daily. As video will show, I am a really light sleeper, and I just need one alarm to wake up. I look so peaceful.
Evan may say he's harassed or that we mess with him or something, but honestly, I can't count the amount of times that we've literally had to check this kid's pulse to make sure he's alive. It scares the hell out of us.
Evan decided he wasn't gonna awake to my initial tortures, so I decided to step up my game this morning, and I went and found a big speaker. Evan screwed himself here and had his own podcast going, so all I had to do was turn it all the way up and put it by his head.
People just don't like to see me happy, It's just kind of how it is.
I know he loves me.
It's not our fault he can't wake up. We got some new cameras! We are stoked. We've been waiting for these for exactly 12 hours. Feels like a lifetime. Just kidding, we overnighted them. We're so excited. And yeah, we're gonna throw these in the studio and use them for the podcast. But first, we're gonna go shoot an NBA job. We need that stuff ASAP, and we ordered it. Somehow it got here in 12 hours. We definitely did not think it'd be here in time for the job, but it was.
This is us prepping in the studio the day before the shoot, making sure we had some cameras built and that everything was going to work properly beforehand. We were testing all of the Komodos that I went and picked up that day. This is 4 of them, and we were testing our switcher.
We are testing out all our new equipment. We got some new cameras. We got a new switcher. We were really excited about everything, so we had to plug it all in, and we were just seeing how everything worked.
And here's my best friend, Meat Nugget. He's a good boy.
Leo! We love Leo around here. We got new shop dog, Ziggy. You guys will see him everywhere. All right, good morning. We just finished loading up the van. Everything's upstairs. And today is NBA All-Stars. We are shooting something I've been literally freaking out. Charles and I have been going nonstop. And today's the day. We're prepping today, heading to location. We're gonna get all set up. Alex is taking you guys behind the scenes. And this should be really fun. Charles, what are your thoughts, dude?
Yeah, let's do it. Super exciting.
You seem like you've been up for 5 days straight.
Basically. But whatever, we'll get it done.
I think Charles hasn't slept in 5 days. I think he was calling me at 3 a.m. and then we were sending emails at 4 a.m. and then he was over at 5 a.m. So I don't think the guy slept in 5 days, either have I. So at this point we were just completely scatterbrained and we were setting up for the job.
I did a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of snooping in places I probably shouldn't snoop, but in order to get you these cool shots, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you're from Utah, you know where this place is and you know how beautiful the stadium is. So I just figured I'd get up there and show you a cool view of everything.
I love Alex and his willingness to just go do whatever the hell he needs to do to get stuff done. That's the attitude that I freaking love. And if you have the attitude, you can come work for me all day long. I love it.
They built this court so freaking fast. It was ridiculously impressive. These guys come in a day and a half and will build something that you would think we took months to build our cyc wall, grinding it out. These guys come in same size team and build a freaking basketball court it looks like it's permanent. It's insane.
How you doing, Tyson?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, what's up?
I am setting up these sticks for later.
So as you can see, we've got all of our gear here. Kind of piled it all into one little place in here in the back room. And now it's time to set it all up.
These guys have switches on the back to power them all up. So you just need to make sure that those are all on and stuff. So
I will forever and always be an 8-year-old, and I will forever and always make faces into a camera when it is pointing at me. It's just how I am.
So, seems I have found the locker room.
Alex, once again, getting illegal shots and exploring areas he shouldn't be in.
This place is huge. I have been wandering around here for the last 45 minutes and I have yet to see the same thing. And I expect it to be that way almost all day.
No, he's a good hire for that. Just throw him in that and he'll just go do it. Till you tell him no, and then he'll just find another way.
How's it going, Scooter?
It's good. This is getting a little area set up. Pretty much we're gonna have 4 cameras in this room, 4 cameras in the other room, plugged into this station where we can then talk to all the operators and direct.
Just taking a nice deep breath, just taking it all in.
Evan was stressed out.
You can tell by my frizzy hair and sideways hat that I am not stressed.
He tried to act like he wasn't stressed, but he was stressed. We were a little nervous going into it. At first, we didn't know what to expect, but that's what prep day was for. So as soon as we got into the building, it was a complete full understanding of, okay, where Charles and I were setting up, where we were shooting, what Charles' room looked like, and what the court area looked like. So as we figured that out, it was a huge stress reliever. We're like, okay, we can pull this off. We got the gear set up, got everything working, and it was like, okay, time to dial it in. I think we woke up at like, I don't know, 5 a.m. the next day to get the van loaded up. We wanted to get there before everyone. I always try to be the first one in and last one out, especially on a job like this. So we were there and we were ready. I think it was dark outside and we were pulling up in the van ready to go.
It is early as fuck. We are out here at the U of U Stadium about to shoot our NBA All-Star Weekend. It is like 5, I don't know. I honestly don't know what time it is. It's early.
I love these setup shots because I'm not in them. And it's because I was always running around putting out 500,000 fires. So I was like running back and forth to the editing station and then helping those guys out, trying to get those things set up. And I was making sure that everything was okay over there. And then also running back and forth to both the other camera rooms to make sure that everything was like working over there too. And like Scooter and I were just like running around the whole time crazy, and it was nuts.
But we are so stoked to be here and we are so ready to do this. So I'm gonna get you some cool behind the scenes stuff today, or B-roll. And we're gonna rock and roll.
We had 4 cameras in one room, 4 cameras in the other room, 1 roaming camera, 9 cameras, and there was my room, the cooler room, PlayStation room, where NBA athletes and gamers would come in and play video games with each other. And then they would go to the other room, which was Scooter's room, and they would play basketball. And the idea was NBA player will get his butt kicked playing video games and then go kick the video gamer's butt playing basketball. It was pretty dope.
Shout out to our sound guys, Gerald and Sean. They're both awesome. Love having them on our crew.
This was the PlayStation room next to us. We still don't know what this room was. Like, it was set up all day right next to us. I kept peeking my head in there, like, I want to go in there. And like, there's just not a whole lot of people in there.
All right, so we had some amazing operators that came through for this job. In my room, I had Jaimo, which I met, I think it was on a Amazon or Netflix movie. He's one of the operators on it. Amazing guy. And then Trevor McDonald, we've never worked together before, but I've heard amazing things about him. Called him up. He was completely down for the job, and he showed up and threw down on the court. He was handheld the whole time and got us everything we needed. So, and then we had John Wirtz, who was our AC, but stepped up as well and jumped up on the Ronin and operated, which was pretty cool. So we got some pretty sweet stuff. And then our 4th camera was up on a tripod, just getting a big wide angle of everything.
Charles was the captain, you could say, of my room. So he would sit on his own screen. As you could see, is split just like Scooter's, and he had his screen would watch his room, and Charles had his screen and he would watch our room, and they could just kind of go back and forth with each other. It's kind of set up like a director-ish position, and they would just kind of double check all the shots while we were shooting.
So Charles and I wanted to be next to each other. That way, if him and I had anything going wrong in each other's room, we could also, use each other's resources to help For instance, Charles had a camera go down in his room and we didn't have players on our field yet. So I grabbed one of my operators, he ran into Charles's room, we tapped into his system and we got all the shots they needed. And it was really helpful. That way, Charles and I were on the same page, but then we could communicate to our own rooms.
Carlos Boozer was our first or second person to come in. He was so freaking, he was such a nice dude. I want him to see this. I love you, Carlos. Such a nice guy.
So we had a 4-hour or 5-hour window where we were actually shooting content with our influencers and NBA players and all that. Every 30 minutes, we'd rotate out a group. After we'd shoot that 30 minutes, someone would run a card down to the DIT room and we'd organize it all and get it ready for the editors sitting right behind us, editing all of this and getting these super cool social media reels and TikToks done super quickly. It was super cool.
So Tyson was thrown into the fire. He was in charge of like DIT. So he was working with Jillian and they were communicating directly with PlayStation and NBA, talking about exactly what they needed. And we're conveying that to all of the editors, as well as organizing all the footage coming in and having to get those assets to the editors. So I think Tyson, he didn't say it, but in those 4 to 5 hours, like I feel like he was lit on fire, literally.
We're about to see the lair where all the creepo nerds hide. So this is the DIT editing room, which they were properly put out 1,000 feet away in the freezing cold, as they should, you know. So our PAs had a really fun time running our cards back and forth because we had a very short deliverable time. So yeah, cards were being run back and forth very quickly. We were running like 4 cards per camera. I mean, 9 times 4. I mean, we were running 35 or almost 40 cards. So the DIT guys had a really easy job, you know, just not offloading a ton of footage or anything.
I don't know why Evans got so much hate for the editors. I feel like that was the hardest job. They're in the freezing cold. They're sitting out there in jackets and blankets, and they're there to like 12 at night.
You know, top-notch crew. Everybody was just super on point, and we did it. And now, you know, we're done, and we're gonna move on to the next thing and go to sleep.
We did it! Holy crap.
He's way more energetic than I am right now, but you know.
Because we did it. We're not, you know, I don't know. We didn't jump off a bridge. We did it. Holy crap.
Yeah. Peace.